good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hello and welcome today. You're joined by me, Daniel, and you're also joined by the lovely artist known as Tropicus. Is that how you say it?
It's just say Veysey.
Veysey?
Yeah, don't go by my
Awesome.
DeviantArt name.
That's all good. By Alyssa, Veysey Alyssa. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Alyssa Veysey.
Alyssa Veysey. Awesome. Yeah, and you can check her work out at their that Tropicus DeviantArt /Tropicus. And do you have any other social media as well, or?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, which is just Veysey, Veyz, and the Art of Veysey, which is on Facebook. I'm also on For Affinity, which is again Veysey.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also Tumblr, same name. It's only a Tropicus. I don't know why I picked that name. That was before I picked Veysey for everything else.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
But if you're defining me, just Veysey, Veyz.
Awesome, Veysey. Awesome. So yeah, tell me a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 30. I live in Canada. I've been drawing all my life, pretty much as soon as I could pick up a pencil. I mostly like to draw wildlife, animals. I love to design creatures. You'll see in my gallery I do a lot of hybrid kind of animals as well. I like to mix 2 or 3 certain animals together, see what I get.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
always fun, you know. Just
Oh yeah, it's always fun to see what kind of creatures you can make.
Yeah, you were saying before about, you know, having a kind of a name for your DeviantArt. I mean, I had one, like, what they called a tag name, I think they're called. I can't fully remember what it actually is. Tag name, username, I suppose.
Username, yeah.
Yeah, the username.
And you could change it. I could change it, I guess, but you have to like pay a monthly prescription or something like that in order to get that.
Yeah, it's annoying for DeviantArt, you know, with
Yeah, so I didn't bother changing it.
yeah, with other sites, you obviously don't have to pay usually to actually get the ability to change your name. But yeah, with DeviantArt, it's kind of, if you set it to it, it's kind of either you make a new one, or you have to go through that whole getting a core membership to change it.
Yeah.
For me, I did have a one of those kind of old names. I had King Cheat for a while on there, and then I decided I'll get rid of all that and just change everything to my name. And
Yeah,
yeah,
my first name on that ever was Dante, but that's because I was obsessed with like Devil May Cry when I was younger.
awesome. Yeah,
And then I switched accounts, and I picked a Tropicus first before I picked everything else to settle on Veysey as a final name for myself. Just my last name spelt out in a different creative way. But yeah, I don't want to pay a core membership just to change my name. So maybe someday, but not right now.
yeah, well, it is not cheap and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's annoying, but you know, I did a core for a little bit. I just kind of like not having like advertisements and things like that. It was quite good, so you know,
Yeah.
I did change it in the end. Yeah.
But I'm not on DeviantArt that long. I usually just post, check my messages, and then I'm off doing my other things. So it's not like the ads bug me too much. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe someday I'll pay for it. Maybe not.
Oh, it's each their own, you know. I mean, you use different social medias in different ways. Yeah.
Yep.
For me, it's easier to have them all like cohesive and all the same, you know.
Yeah.
Same name and everything like that. So that's
It's
why.
just easier.
Yeah, that's why I kind of changed it, so it's all same, the same as my websites, my name and all those other things.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you've studied at CGMA?
Yeah, I did for a while. It is a bit kind of on the price. You can pick your courses, the ones that you want to do. Like before, I went to college, ACAD, Alberta College of Art and Design, and I had to drop out after my third year because I ran out of money, and I was the kind of person who refused to, take out a loan and stuff like that because you hear all the horror stories about that stuff, and so after high school, I worked like 2 jobs for a good 4 years to save up so I can go to college, and I went to ACAD for 3 years. Problem is that I found a little bothersome is you were forced to take classes that you had no interest in.
I
Like I had to pick 2 English courses for some reason. Art history was helpful, but half the time I fell asleep. I had no interest in it. I wanted to get into illustration and concept art, stuff like that, but that wasn't until like your third or fourth year. So through your first and second year, you're forced to take classes that you've no interest in, and waste a lot of money on art supplies, books, courses. And so after that, I'm like, I'm draining at the bank, so I had to drop out. And then
yeah.
after a while, I discovered CGMA, and they had all the courses I had interested in: creature design, all the basic fundamentals, character design, art theory, perspective, everything. And what was great about it is you could pick from it, so I started doing that, which is great. It's an American site, I believe.
Yep.
So the classes cost me like $900 each, which was again fine because I could work and at the same time take these courses.
Awesome.
And just take one at a time.
Yep.
Take what you can afford, right?
Yep.
I haven't been there for a while. I'm planning to go back, but it's been an expensive year for me right now. So, but I plan to go back. It's awesome. You can start with the fundamentals, pick what you need to improve on, and just kind of work your way through. You can go into human anatomy courses, or if you don't want to do humans and do what I like to do, you can go into creature design, fundamentals of design, that teaches you where to start. It's really helpful. I loved it, and they're kind of small, like a group of 20 people per course, and it's you get your assignment with a video. The instructor tells you what to do, how to do it. So you're watching an hour-long video at least. You give him your assignment, and then you have a week to finish it. And you hand it in, and then they'll give you back a critique video. So you can actually watch, and they'll show you what you did right, what you did wrong, and it's very helpful.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah, and to be honest, I kind of wish I found CGMA before I went to ACAD. Just so I could have saved a lot more money, to be honest.
Yeah.
And a lot less stress because I could pick the courses, how many courses I wanted. That way, you're not like stressing to get to school or stressing to get every assignment done.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love CGMA. I highly recommend it. Or any other online courses that you can find that first. I recommend it.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
cool.
it's great.
I mean,
It's great.
to me, it doesn't sound like too cheap, but it sounds. It's
It's
pretty
not,
awesome.
but I will say it is worth your money.
Mm.
And it was probably more expensive for me because I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
So the difference in the payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
like I said, I definitely go back. It's very helpful.
Awesome.
But like I said, nowadays,
Yeah.
you can find courses online. It doesn't even have to be like CGMA. There's what do you got, Gumroad and Schoolism. You got tons of YouTube videos that have tons of tutorials.
Yeah,
Chat rooms everywhere. People can help you. Just art discussions or just
there's so much out there these days, which is it's really awesome to see. For me, I studied, and obviously, I did have some like classes that I didn't exactly enjoy, and and also struggled with as well. But I got through them and did other stuff. But for me, that was kind of really helpful.
Yeah.
Going through that whole experience. Obviously, there's that whole debt thing. But for me, and here in New Zealand, they kind of just take a little bit out of your wages or whatever, which isn't too horrific. It's only a
Yeah.
really small amount over time. You've got so long to pay it off.
Yeah.
But
I guess
yeah,
it varies depending on where you live
yeah,
and
yeah.
how the
There's
schools work.
I think I'm not too sure, but I think it's the same kind of thing over in some other countries. They take a little bit out of
Yeah.
your wages every so often. But yeah, it's that whole thing of I'm creating myself into debt here, and that kind of thing people don't like as well. So it's each their own. Some people don't mind it; they just kind of go for it and learn what they can, and it works out well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, other people do it and they regret it and blah blah blah. Um,
And yeah, it's not to say I didn't learn. I learned a
mm,
lot from ACAD. There's a lot of things that I learned. Like I didn't want to go into logo creation. It was part of the fundamentals or the communication of design course. I didn't want to learn how to do logos and stuff. But again, I learned a lot from it. Same with typography. Learned a lot of things I didn't know about.
yeah,
But again, it wasn't what I was interested in. I wanted to learn how to do concept art, creature design, illustration, but that wasn't until you got into your third and fourth year, and by then I was pretty much dry at the bank.
yeah. And that's the other thing, with our student life. Um, I mean, we don't get all the money in the world, so I mean, it was
No,
alright
and some
for
people have to, yeah, some people have to work and
yeah,
juggle their courses and classes. It can get
which
overwhelming.
yeah, it is overwhelming. I mean, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have worked and studied at the same time. I needed like a lot of time to do all my work, get all these drawings and paintings done and things like that. So,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, some people
yeah,
had
but
to, things. But it was all good for me because I boarded with family, and people, so I didn't have a lot of like rent to pay and things like that. Um,
yeah,
so
same
that
as for me. My auntie and uncle were nice enough to let me live with them for a
mm,
while I did my college work.
yeah, so it was manageable. So it was really cool to actually have that experience and get that all done. Um,
But yeah, I highly recommend that, before going straight to college, just do your research and see
mm,
what courses are available online. Because the great thing about the art industry, and a lot of professionals will tell you this, is you don't need that degree or, that fancy paper that says you graduated from college to get hired. It's all about your portfolio and your work. And if you can manage to make your work outstanding without even going to college, then I'd say you're better off then.
mm. Yeah, it's also I do at the moment I'm doing schoolism. Um,
Yeah,
I don't get a lot of time to do it, but I do try.
that's the important thing, right? As long as you're trying.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I've just been over colds here and there, so I've had that to deal with. Um, but when I get things running again, I definitely can find some time there to just, even just listen to some of the videos, which can, just listening to them can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, which is awesome.
There's an artist I love to watch while I'm drawing. His name's Aaron Blaise. He was a Disney artist. He designed Nala. He designed Raja from Aladdin. He was in Beauty and the Beast. He did one of the three guys from Mulan. Like he was an animator, and he's also a creature designer, and he draws animals. And it's obviously what I'm into, so I watch him. He's on YouTube. His YouTube channel is Creature Art Teacher. Yeah, no, The Art of Aaron Blaise, I think, is his YouTube
Yeah.
channel. Creature Art Teacher is his website,
Hmm.
and he has courses that are affordable. They are in he's got tons of videos on his YouTube channel, and he also does live streams, so he'll answer questions for people while drawing, and he'll show you, how he works, what he studies, and all that stuff. I found it really helpful watching him.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him.
Yeah, he is awesome. I like watching his videos as well.
Yeah. Easy to follow him.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so you've been to the Calgary Expo?
Yeah, it was actually my first time to ever have a booth at Artist Alley. It's in my home city, obviously, so I decided to try it out one year. I loved it. It was fun, and I've been going ever since. I think this year was my 3rd year.
Awesome.
And it's really great to go to conventions, even if you don't have a booth. You get a lot of inspiration just by looking at other artists' work. And and you never know who's walking the aisles. Who will like your work. They could be working in a professional industry. You never know. I had last year someone said they emailed me after the expo. They said they liked my work. They wanted me to have a booth open for their wildlife festival in Edmonton, which was awesome because they liked my work. They saw my stuff. They liked my work, and they wanted me to sell it at another. It wasn't an expo, but it was a wildlife festival, which was awesome. Yeah, so you never know who's going to be looking around. So just get your art out there.
Yeah, it is. It's a great opportunity to get your work out there. I've done one here in New Zealand, which is known as Armageddon. It's kind of the only one that we have in New Zealand, I think. We do have like a Twitch con kind of a thing that happens around about the same time.
That's cool.
And yeah, but we don't have a lot. Usually it's all like fairs and things.
Yeah, it's really troublesome when you have to travel to go to an expo. It can get quite expensive.
Yeah.
I've been asked to join a few other ones, but I can only do what I can afford, which is the one in my hometown at the moment.
Which is, that's really lucky because, for me, there's nothing really at the hometown. Nothing that's kind of, I would say does well, there are like fairs here, but no one's like too interested in that kind of thing here. They might be cool at looking at it or seeing it, which is cool. But yeah, there's not like a lot of interest here in it. But there's bigger ones around New Zealand, which is quite cool to go to. I enjoy creature design. You see me doing a pug at the moment, so I'm just decided to pick up my pug series again. I quite enjoy drawing pugs, so I decided one day when I was doing a course for Terrell Whitlatch, I was...
Oh, Terrell Whitlatch?
Yep.
Yeah, I have like 3 of her books that I pretty much worship. Her Science of Creature Design, the Understanding Anatomy, or Animal Anatomy.
Yeah.
Do you have those books?
I don't have a lot of books. Yeah.
Well, these I highly recommend. The Science of Creature Design basically it's basically talks and shows about different types of real life animal anatomy, and the families they're under, and the bone structure, their muscles, and all that stuff. And then there's a second book, is Principles of Creature Design, Creating Imaginary Animals. That's what you take from the Science of Creature Design and you apply it to the creatures that you are creating.
Awesome.
So they are 2 books that I highly recommend from Terrell Whitlatch.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean her books look really awesome. But yeah, they're not too cheap. They're like over here about 50.
No, I was able to actually. I was at the my comic convention, the Comic Expo in Calgary. I didn't have a booth. I was just wandering around like any other person, and she was actually there. and
Awesome.
I was lucky enough to meet her and talk to her about her books and how she works. And I managed to get a deal on the books that she was selling at the moment. But yeah, it was
Awesome.
great.
That's pretty
Yeah, they're
cool.
not cheap, but they are probably worth it. If you
Yeah.
can manage to find them cheap online, then I say go for it. They are worth your money.
Yeah. They're not.
I
Yeah.
also have her. I also have her The Wildlife of Star Wars. It's not really a instruction guide. It's just basically a book with all the Star Wars creatures in it.
Awesome.
But it's still great to look at for inspiration
Mm.
and to study from. Yeah,
Awesome.
I have way too many books, but
Well, that's
well,
pretty
you
cool.
can never have way too many books. I
Yeah.
like to collect the art of,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
Those are awesome.
the art of whatever animated movie was out. Same with video games.
Mm.
It's a great way to just study and learn and try to apply to your own art.
Yeah, it is. It's great to have a book, a physical, actual thing. Um, yeah, because you could go back and flick through it.
Yeah.
For me, I have a few books here and there that I managed to pick up. I've got like this, like the environment design for Star Wars. Um, a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big book that I found at a little fair that I did that I found, and I bought it for like real cheap. They were just
Yeah.
flicking off books and things. So I found that book. I've got one from. It's been passed down to me is what's his name? Figure drawing artist. He's really good. Um, got a book from him. I can't remember his name, but
Yeah.
it's really good. That book, and I've also got a bunch of Imagine FX because I used to get those every kind of month. Collect those and just slowly build it up, and those have like amazing tips and
Oh yeah.
tutorials and things like that from artists all over the world, and also from the film and gaming industry, from different industries as well.
Yeah. It's a great way to broaden your style as well.
Mm,
Like me, I tend to add a lot of detail in my work, so sometimes when I'm trying to draw something that I want to be simplified, I'll just go through the art of whatever animated movie that's in my collection, and I'll just look at the concept art and see how they simplify their characters. Sometimes I like to draw cartoon characters, but I get really caught up in the details,
mm,
so I'll look through the books. It's like, okay, so just basic shapes, do this, do that. They're really helpful.
yeah. It's awesome.
What
It's great, huh?
One artist that I highly recommend if you're looking for simplified kind of designs is Leah Furman. She's on DeviantArt. She's on Twitter. I believe her username is Pookadoodle. If
Yeah,
not, it's Leah Furman. She does these brain spews. They're just like a vast collection of sketches, and then she'll just it's kind of like a sketch dump.
yeah,
And she has pages and pages of those. And every time that I'm struggling with a design or something, I'll look at her pages and just scroll through them and just kind of study off them, because she's really good with cartoons and how to simplify, and she uses basic shapes to really bring out the character. It's I love it. It's amazing.
mm. Yeah. With you designing creatures, are you thinking about the structure of the creature?
Usually, if a design really just kind of pops in my head, I'll first write down the animals that I'm thinking that would add to that design, and then I'll do a few loose sketches just to see what the basic of its appearance would look like, and then I'll go through, like, I'll ask myself questions like, where does it live? What does it need to survive? What kind of, is it a predator? Is it a herbivore? Stuff like that. Like, does it need claws? Does it need a thick fur coat? Does it need camouflage? You ask yourselves all these
Yeah.
questions, and then you just kind of start narrowing it down. It really helps to watch animal documentaries as well,
Hmm.
just to see how animals live and what they need to do to survive.
Yeah, those are interesting to watch. I remember as a kid, I always used to flick on um, Discovery Channel or um, Animal Planet. So
Yeah,
there'd be a lot of like animal videos on there, which was really awesome, and you get to see um, animals. Also, you get to discover animals you're not used to seeing. Um, like in China, I didn't even know what that was, and I discovered what it in
Yeah.
China is.
Or you learn something about an animal that you never thought of before. It's like, oh, I
mm,
didn't know that animal could do that, and then you apply it to your creature because you think that's cool.
yeah, exactly. It's very helpful to go through that. Um, yeah, you discover so many things can be very helpful
Yeah.
to do. I mean, I think one series that was really cool to watch was the David Edinburgh one that's just been on. Um,
Yeah.
what's that one? Our Planet, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really awesome. It goes through kind of a few animals, tells their story, um, how they cope and survive, things like that. And then afterwards, you get to see how they actually film it, a little bit behind the scenes, and a little bit like um, extra story if there's anything like little extra things, or how they actually captured it. Um,
Yeah.
Also, the um, the people that film it, they can't actually interfere with the wildlife at all, which can be very upsetting because if you're seeing another animal kind of pass away in front of you, you kind of want to help. So,
Yeah, but you're not allowed to interfere and all that.
yeah, so it's very sad to see that kind of stuff that they can't actually do anything about it. Um, they have to deal with it. There is a certain point where they can help, but it depends on the animal and all those other things and where
Yeah.
they are.
So you
Um,
have to think about your own safety as well. You can't just
yeah,
walk up to the polar bear even though you've been filming him for 6 months.
yeah, but it's very sad when you're seeing, the animal that you've been filming for 6 months actually pass away.
Yeah.
Um, you see that kind of thing, and it's really awesome to get a little bit more about what they're actually filming. That's I felt that really helpful. To see that kind of thing, it was quite cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of inspiration from documentaries. And it's great to have it just playing in the background while you're drawing.
Mm.
Kind of keeps you in the mood.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, I most of the time I just want music. But
Oh, yeah, that works too.
if I can manage it, sometimes I like watch something like totally out of it, something I want to watch, a series or something that I watch. But oftentimes I chuck on, on YouTube, I chuck on a helpful video, whether it's helpful advice,
Yeah.
or something like Bobby Chio's channel. Um,
Oh, yeah, Bobby Chew.
um, but because I've had a lot going on lately, um, it's just kind of downtime of me painting and listening to music. So it's kind of I'm behind on that. It's kind of annoying
That's
being
fine.
behind, but
Sometimes you just need to take a break.
yeah. But I mean, it happens. I have a kind of thing. I watch those 2 videos a week. Yes, like 2 videos pop up every week, so I try and get those all
Yeah.
done. And then after those are done, I watch Schoolism. Um, and that's why I'm kind of behind on Schoolism as well, because it's like I'm behind on these YouTube videos. I want to get those all done, so I can get back onto
Yeah.
Schoolism as well. So that's what I
Yeah. There's
which
a
is
lot of factors that can distract you from just drawing in general.
yeah, yeah. But I
With
mean,
me, sometimes it's my wrist. I'll be drawing all day at work, and then once I'm done work, I want to draw and do my own stuff, but my wrist is inflamed, so I have to actually tell myself, usually on the weekends, to just kind of relax and take a
yeah,
break because you don't want to burn yourself out. 'Cause
mm,
that's a real bummer.
yeah.
Yeah. So don't feel bad about taking any breaks. Just builds up your need to draw more.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's I draw as much as I can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I have a full-time job, so that's can be tiring too. Um,
Yeah.
and usually,
I can relate.
mm,
I used
and
to work at a warehouse, and I'd get so exhausted when I get home that I would just want to flop on the couch and pass out.
yeah. But it's not too bad that I'm like exhausted. I would say it's kind of a easy-ish job. There obviously are days that are harder than others, but
Yeah.
it's pretty. Um, it's not too hard a job now. Come home every night and I'm just naked. Usually okay, but I don't actually get to paint till like Bubba's asleep, so that's like 8 or 7, somewhere between 7 and 8. When you get home, so I get like 4 hours
Yeah.
painting a day. Um,
I understand with those really odd hours. Earlier this or last year, I used to work at the airport,
mm,
and I was on the night shift. So I would leave sometime around 9 and get back at like 6 in the morning. And of course, you're sleeping the day away
yeah.
because you got to get ready for the next evening shift. And it was an okay job, but I didn't get enough hours. It wasn't good pay. And luckily, someone, a scout or something on Tumblr, saw my art, and they asked for commissions for certain things. I said, sure, I need the extra money anyways. I'm not getting enough at the airport. So sadly, I wasn't full time. And they kept coming back and asking me to do more and more of these commissions. I'm like, okay, sure. And then suddenly one day they asked me if they wanted to be hired, or if I wanted to be hired by them. I'm like, they wanted to hire me full time for art, and I'm like, hell yeah. Well, obviously I didn't. That was my first thought. I was like, hell yeah, just jump right in. But I had to give it some thought.
Yeah.
But they were offering me full time, and I was obviously going to get paid more than what I was earning at the airport. So after thinking it over, going through the whole budget thing and stuff like that, I accepted, and now I get to work full time drawing.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Getting opportunities like that. It's
Yeah,
really
you never
awesome.
know where it's going to come from.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing.
they found me on Tumblr of all places.
Would you say you post a lot on Tumblr, or you just kind of?
Uh, Whenever I finish an art piece, I'll pretty much post it pretty much on all of my sites. The Facebook, Twitter, DeviantArt. I'll pretty much post them everywhere.
That's awesome.
I have an art station, but I haven't been in there in a couple of years, so it needs some maintenance.
Yeah.
I need to go back on art station. I keep telling myself that, but I keep putting it off.
Oh,
But yeah, if you yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything, different websites work differently, obviously, and
Yeah.
each their own. Tumblr worked for you, um, which is really awesome, and
Yeah, so if you can find places to post your art, I say post it because, like I said, same thing with the expo. You never know who's going to be walking by and looking at your booth. You never know who's going to be on what site looking at your stuff. Even if you think your art's bad or it's not good enough to be hired full time full illustration, you don't know. You don't know what people are looking for in style or in the kind of work that you do.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to try the other websites. Even
Yeah.
if you think, oh, this website I'm not getting any views on, or like people are not reacting or anything like that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't get a lot of views on Tumblr because mostly it's fan art. I guess that gets the most. And I do fan art occasionally, but like I said, I usually do creature design and wildlife. But even if those don't get any attention, something else will. And you'd be surprised what site it'd catch their attention on.
Yeah, for
I
me.
did a small sketch. Do you know the show Happy?
Happy? No, sorry.
It's based off a comic book. It was a TV series that came out last year. It's about this run-down detective or ex-detective. Like he's hitting the bottle. He's the basically a run-down cop or ex-cop, and his daughter gets kidnapped. Or he didn't know about, and it's his daughter's imaginary friend that finds him. It's kind of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of cartoon, real life kind of back and forth kind of thing.
Yep.
Only highly more rated, like rated R. Like there's a lot of violence and stuff that goes on in that show. But it was hilarious. I watched the first season. I loved it. So I decided to do fan art. I did just quick sketches of Happy because I really liked his design. He was cute and funny, and I liked the design. So I did a few. And about a few months later, someone from, because the show airs on Space and Sci-Fi, I think. Yeah, Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Or no, Showcase and yeah, Showcase and Sci-Fi. I watched it on Showcase, but I think Sci-Fi owns the show. They called me, or they emailed me. They said, "Hey, we like your sketches. Could you do a fan art piece for us for the San Diego Comic-Con?" So they could put it on, like, one of the subway trains. And I'm like, sure. Because they saw this simple sketch, this simple little doodle that I did. They liked my work. It wasn't even that good of a sketch, but they looked through my gallery and they saw my other stuff, like, hey, we like your work, can you do this for us? And obviously I didn't do it for free. You know, I did it for pretty much a good amount of cash.
Yeah.
And,
Awesome.
you know, a few months later, after that, after I submitted my piece, they sent it back. They sent a photo of my art on a train. I never would have, you know, all my days it's like I never knew my art would one day be on like a side of a train, or you know, sold on T-shirts at a San Diego Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. That's the one it was.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. They sent me 2 T-shirts that they sold. They sent me photos of people, fans of the show, that they were holding up their T-shirts that they bought. It was awesome. So, like I said, and that was all from a sketch, just a fan art piece of sketch. So, if you ever get like teachers, they always say, "Don't do fan art, don't do fan art." You don't know. You don't know what'll attract people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, "Don't draw anime, draw from real life." And in a way, that's true. But at the same time, just draw what you like, because eventually someone's gonna come along, see it, and love it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be like, oh, you know, I've got to draw this because it's best for me. You just got to draw what you love. I think.
Yeah, draw what you love.
You know, that's the thing that gets you hired in a way, because you know you won't spend all your time doing things that you know you're doing.
You
just
don't want to draw. You don't love. You're not gonna do it.
Exactly.
It's gonna kill your passion.
And that's the thing, and it shows in your portfolio. It shows that you don't love drawing it. You just created it. You know, it can really show in your portfolio that you know you're just doing this because you want attention, versus you're drawing this because you actually love doing it. You actually want to create
Exactly.
it. And yeah, it does show. So that's just keep drawing what you love. And that's the thing. I mean, I draw all the things I love. Obviously I'm doing pugs at the moment. And yeah, I'm doing a couple of children's books here and there, which is really cool to do. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You
You also have to be aware of what people ask. Like, if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, like your work, do you want to draw this?" And if it revolved about drawing a lot of people, it's like, I'm not that good at drawing humans at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I've been taking some, human figure study courses, anatomy courses. But I personally, since I work on animals and creatures and stuff like that, my human anatomy isn't top notch. So you don't want to be hired for something that you're not very good at. Even if someone's offering you a job, you're gonna burn yourself out trying to, perfect something that's probably just going to be turned down later on. So make sure if you're being hired for something that you're really good at, or that you have a pretty good grasp on.
Yeah. Well, it works out, because once you've got it in your portfolio, people are going to be like, well, draw something like that, If you've got a whole bunch of people in your portfolio, but you're not really good at drawing people, obviously it should show in your portfolio that you're not good at people.
Yeah, from what I learned, like, if you want to be hired for, like, creature design, have, like, 90% of your portfolio as creatures, and then maybe 10% somewhere in the back, add some humans. But if you're going to be hired by something that you want to do, make sure you're being hired for it.
Mm.
If you're good at environments, put environments in your portfolio.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, my portfolio is pretty much built with everything that I love to create. Obviously, I want to change it a bit more. There's probably going to be a couple of things that will pop up in there in the next this year. I'd say in the next this year. That'll change. So I'll probably add some of my new book into it. I have there, so I'm always like chopping and changing it every now and again. I just, I took a piece out of it because I thought, oh, well, this piece was it was my first kind of digital painting that I ever did. So,
Yeah, it's always good to update it as you improve.
Yeah, it's helpful.
A fun thing I like to do is I like to go through my old art, my old creatures, and then try to redesign them, redraw them, see how much I've learned and how much I've grown as an artist.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any memorable art lessons?
Any art lessons?
Yeah, anything you've learnt while doing something?
Oh god, I learned a lot from watching Aaron Blaze's videos, and I've bought a lot of his courses. He's got like character design courses, any type of different animals, like big cat courses, horses, stuff like that. Some stuff I just draw in my free time. I do a lot of sketches. Sometimes just to get an idea out there, or maybe just to get different headshots, or just to improve on a certain style. Sometimes it's nice to just stay loose. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's mostly Aaron Blaze. I've been stalking. I used to look at Bob Raffy's art a lot when I was younger. He did stuff like concept art for Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Dexter. Like he had a really cool cartoony style that I really liked. So I would mimic him a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I can tell that you look at Aaron Place, which is really cool. Yeah, that's been me in
And again, I look at Leah Furman's art. She's really good with simplifying animals and characters and stuff, and that helps me because I tend to over detail stuff. So I like to look at her art, and she's really good at simplifying. So
awesome.
when I'm just doing cartoons and stuff, I'll study from her pages and just look at them.
Yeah, any last things you'd like to say?
Not really. Just keep drawing, keep learning, do what you love.
Yeah.
And don't forget to take breaks here and there. You don't have to be ahead of the curve. You don't have to be ahead of everyone. Just go at your own pace and do what you love. Do it for you. Don't do it for the views and the followers or the subscribers. Do it for you first, and then the right people will start following you.
Yeah, and that's always important.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the interview.
It's been awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. If you did watch, whether it's been on Twitch or on YouTube, yeah, please do like, share, subscribe, and all those things. That's been me, and also you, Alyssa Veysey. You can check her work out here. There'll be a link to her DeviantArt in the description. Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good one, and yeah, keep drawing. See you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye bye.